In the world of sports, there are some big debates, and then there's the debate. For the better part of 20 years, the question of who's the greatest of all time in football has pretty much boiled down to just two names. Yup, two names, one question. It's a debate that has defined an entire generation of football fans. So, who is it, Messi or Ronaldo? It feels like a simple question, but it's so much more than that. We're talking about two completely different philosophies, two unbelievable journeys, and two totally legitimate claims to that GOAT title. To really get this rivalry, we've got to rewind the clock. There was a moment in time when the entire football world just became dominated by these two forces of nature. They weren't just playing the game, they were totally redefining what was even possible, and they set the stage for an era we'd never seen before. This brings us to the core of it all, magic versus hard work. See, what makes this whole debate so fascinating is that they are almost perfect opposites. They represent two completely different roads to greatness. One guy seemed like he was just born with it, and the other forged it all through sheer will. So first, you've got Lionel Messi, the natural genius. He was this quiet kid from Argentina, and the ball just seemed to be a part of his foot. His talent was so obvious, so undeniable, that Barcelona famously took a huge chance on him, even paying for his growth hormone treatments. With Messi, it doesn't even feel like he's playing football. It feels like the game is just flowing through him. It's just magic. And then, on the complete other side of the coin, you have Cristiano Ronaldo. He came from a small island in Portugal with this burning, relentless hunger to be the absolute best. He wasn't born with that same kind of innate, magical touch as Messi. So what did he do? He built himself into the perfect athlete. He literally sculpted his body into a weapon and worked tirelessly to perfect his skills, proving himself over and over again. And that's really the fundamental difference, isn't it? It's magic versus muscle. It's the natural-born artist on one side and the perfect machine on the other. A living testament to what pure dedication can create. Ronaldo himself basically summed up his entire philosophy with this one quote: "Talent without hard work is nothing." That sentence right there, that's the key to understanding his whole journey. So now we get to the war on the field. See, these two opposing forces weren't just competing from a distance. Oh no. For almost 10 years, their rivalry had a very specific, legendary battleground: El Clásico. And I'm not exaggerating. For nearly a decade, the entire world of football would literally come to a complete standstill whenever it was time for El Clásico. This wasn't just Barcelona versus Real Madrid. No, this was Messi, the heart and soul of Barca's system, against Ronaldo, the absolute powerhouse leading Madrid's attack. This was their arena. And wow, did their styles clash on the pitch. You had Messi's mesmerizing, impossible dribbles going up against Ronaldo's raw, explosive power. You had Messi's almost telepathic connection with his teammates versus Ronaldo's commanding presence and unstoppable will to win. Every single match was a masterclass in two different kinds of greatness. Now, the tally of achievements. Look, we've heard the stories, we've seen the styles, but for a lot of people, this whole debate ends with one thing: the numbers. So let's take a look at the hardware. All right, let's break down the big ones. When we look at the Ballon d'Or, well, Messi has the clear edge there. But then you look at the Champions League, the biggest prize in Europe, and Ronaldo comes out on top. And for their countries, they both reached the absolute pinnacle. Messi finally got his World Cup, and Ronaldo won the Euro Cup. What's the takeaway here? It is incredibly, incredibly close. So this is what we'll call the real truth: two GOATs. After all of that, it kind of feels like we're right back where we started, but are we? What if the real answer isn't about picking one of them over the other? Here's the thing. The real truth is that they weren't just rivals. They were partners in this epic story. Just think about it for a second. They pushed each other to heights that neither one could have ever reached alone. Ronaldo's crazy, relentless drive forced Messi to get even better, and Messi's impossible genius gave Ronaldo a target he just had to chase. They needed each other. So you see, the real question isn't who is better. The real question is, what do you value more? Do you prefer the quiet, natural magic of Messi, the simplicity and the team play? Or do you prefer the unapologetic ambition, the leadership and the raw power of Ronaldo? Your answer says a lot more about what you admire than it does about them. And that's really the ultimate takeaway, isn't it? Maybe we should stop arguing over who was better and just feel incredibly lucky that we got to watch them both. Because at the end of the day, the real winner was football. For an entire generation, we didn't just have one greatest of all time,